Considering how shuttles can travel up to Mach 25, that would mean Barry should be able to reach speeds of about 19,182 miles per hour or 30,870 kilometers an hour. That's probably where Zack Snyder intended on capping Barry. So yeah, turns out that wasn't true. So, it's finally here. Warner Brothers finally released Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League movie, the long-fabled Snyder Cut, and, it was alright. And by alright, I mean it was fucking awesome! Even if you're like me and you weren't the biggest fan of Snyder's earlier DCEU movies, there's still plenty of stuff in the Snyder Cut to enjoy. Like new and improved action scenes, way better CGI, and tons of world building that could have led to a bunch of sequels if Warner Brothers wasn't busy catering to like the 5 people that wanted a full-length Hour Man movie instead. For real, how does anybody look at a movie like this and go, yeah, just fuck up everything on screen, some sucker's gonna eat it up anyway? Although, to be fair, I personally own the steelbook of the 2017 version, so I guess I'm one of those suckers. Seriously though, on top of just generally doing everything better compared to the 2017 version, the Snyder Cut also gave us way more cool action shots for the individual members of the League, including the one many people considered one of the worst parts of the Whedon version, that being this universe's version of Barry Allen, aka The Flash. Yeah, he's still awkward and runs like there's something wrong with him, but he's way faster this time around. Way faster than the shitty prediction I made in my earlier top speed video. But the real question is, how fast is the DCEU Flash in Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League? Well, let's take a look and find out. As always, we need a base feat to kick things off, and we actually get a simple one in one of the original shots restored in the Snyder Cut. During the final fight against Steppenwolf towards the end of the movie, we get this Avengers-style group shot where we see Barry casually catching up to, and keeping up with, the Batmobile. According to the official specs from the 2015 Licensing Expo in Vegas, the DCEU Batmobile had an estimated top speed of 205 miles an hour, or about 330 kilometers an hour, around the speeds of a decent sports car. Not too bad, I guess, but we know Barry can do way better, like that time when he managed to save Iris and a hot dog from a crazy car crash. Kinda like when his CW counterpart saved Joe from a grenade going off back in Season 4, we can see how fast Barry was moving in this scene by comparing Iris's travel speed in the crash in real time and from his point of view. Now, we don't know exactly how fast Iris is driving by the time she smashes into this truck, but just to make things simple, I'll be basing my numbers on the average low-end urban speed limit of around 25 miles an hour, or about 11 meters a second. I figure that's probably fair enough considering how messed up the car looks after Barry saves her, but if you have a better estimate, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Either way, since she wasn't strapped in before the crash, Iris should still be traveling at similar speeds after her car suddenly stops, and with a bit of scaling, we can see that she moves the distance of about 1.5 irises by the time Barry reaches the crash. According to Google, actress Kiersey Clemons is 5'7", or about 1.7 meters, so this would mean Iris traveled about 2.55 meters by the time Barry reached her. If Iris only managed to travel 2.55 meters, traveling at a speed of about 11 meters a second, then that means she should have moved that distance in about 0.23 seconds in real time. But if we count from when Barry started to slow things down to when he reached her at the crash, we can see that it took her 40 seconds to fly that distance from his perspective, putting him at about 174 times faster than Iris is moving in the crash. This means Barry, while heading over to save Iris and grabbing these dogs a snack, would have been moving at a speed of about 4,350 miles an hour, or about 7,000 kilometers an hour, or about Mach 5.7. Now that's definitely impressive. But if you've seen my earlier top speed video I did about this version of Barry a few years ago, then you know he's been busting out some pretty decent speed feats even before he met the Justice League, doing stuff like stopping Captain Boomerang during a bank robbery, pushing over this dude while grabbing some milk at a convenience store, and using parts meant for space shuttles to put together his suit.
Silica-based quartz sand fabric, abrasion resistant, heat resistant, what they use on the space shuttle to prevent it from burning up on re-entry.
All in all, this means that Snyder's version of Barry should casually be reaching speeds of about Mach 25 or so. If you want to check out the full breakdown for any of those feats, by the way, the link to that earlier video will be up on screen and in the description. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I do want to point out that the Snyder Cut does have a couple moments where Barry easily goes way faster than 25 times the speed of sound. Remember when Cyborg needed him to build up a charge to help break through the unity of the mother boxes? Of course, Barry doesn't actually do it till he's rewinding time, more on this in a bit, but he did seem like he built up a decent amount of speed while trying to build up the charge the first time. So how fast was he actually going? Well, based on the path Barry was taking to build up his charge, we'll need to break out the formula for circular velocity to figure this one out, meaning we need to find both the radius of the path Barry was traveling, as well as the time it took him to complete a full lap. For For the radius, we can use Cyborg's hologram here to help us figure it out, since it gives us both the path Barry's supposed to take to build up the charge, as well as a nice little landmark here to scale out the radius. Cooling towers can be upwards of 660 feet, or 200 meters tall, so using the tower as a scale, we can estimate that the radius of the circle Barry's running is about 4 cooling towers or so, putting the radius at about 2,640 feet, or about 805 meters. Fun fact, the tower Steppenwolf created when he gathered up the mother boxes looks about 1.5 times as tall as the cooling tower, meaning it was reaching a maximum height of 990 feet, or about 302 meters. That doesn't really have anything to do with the video, I just found this out while I was running the numbers on the radius, and I thought it was pretty neat.
I just think they're neat.
Anyways, we can get a rough estimate of the fastest time it takes Barry to run this loop the closer he gets to building the charge, which seems to be somewhere around 0.3 seconds or so. And with all that, we can finally plug everything into our formula, giving us this, and after doing some simple math, we can see that Barry, while building up his charge to help Cyborg break the mother box's unity, was reaching speeds of about 37,695 miles an hour, or about 60,664 kilometers an hour, or about Mach 49.
Mach 50 isn't a real thing.
I mean, yeah, he may not be reaching Mach 50 with this one, Barry, but at least he's still going 16 times faster than the 2,300 mile an hour estimated top speed of the BrahMos supersonic missile, and he's still way faster than you overall. Seriously though, turns out this version of Barry is way faster than any of us initially thought, to the point where he's able to absolutely crush light speed at a moment's notice. We see it a few different times in the Snyder Cut, like when he straight up dodges blasts from a parademon, or when the team decides to recharge their mother box to resurrect Superman.
I don't like to break this rule, but when I approach the speed of light,
But even those feats get obliterated when Barry has to save the world towards the end of the movie. Right after getting no-scoped by a random parademon, the unity of the mother boxes officially begins, and Barry manages to slow things way down, going into flash time if you will, and hypes himself up to break his one rule and run way faster than light speed.
Just gotta go faster than the speed of light, far beyond the speed of light. You gotta break the rule, Barry, and you gotta do it now.
Now, how fast far beyond the speed of light actually is, I'm not entirely sure, since I don't think we really have a real-world comparison to that amazing rolling back the clock scene after the Unity starts up, but it would at the very least put him at speeds around 670,616,629 miles an hour, or 1,079,252,848 kilometers an hour. Even CW's Barry, who managed to go over 2,000 times faster than light at one point, was retconned to officially be running way slower than light speed during his fight with Ultraviolet back in Season 6.
Ultraviolet light travels at 186,000 miles per second, which is 80 times your top speed.
This puts Snyder's version of Barry easily over 80 times faster than the CW's version. I mean, I guess we shouldn't be too surprised since we've been getting hints about Barry's true potential even back in 2016, but do you guys get how insane it is that DCEU Barry's so much faster than the one in the Arrowverse? I mean, first of all, the same guy who can outrun nukes and supercharge his speed to the point where he was outrunning breaches measuring in the picoseconds is still getting smoked by somebody who moves like one of those inflatable tube guys at the used car lots. And second, don't forget that this Barry was casually reaching those faster than light speeds. Remember, he had a pre-established rule about not going light speed before he met the Justice League, so he's clearly done it before. And since he's not exactly straining to reach that faster than light speed at the end of the movie, I'm guessing that means he can go even faster than that. Maybe even fast enough to go to plaid, who knows. Seriously though, this is insane. And keep in mind, this is still only a small taste of Barry's true potential in the DCEU. We've really only seen him doing a whole lot in one movie so far, and even then only in one version of the movie. Can you imagine how much faster he can go, especially if Warner Brothers finally decides to make a smart move here and officially make the Snyder Cut canon? Outrunning Omega beams, fighting his version of the Reverse Flash, punching holes in the multiverse.
Stop! My penis can only get so erect.
Seriously, the possibilities are endless. Please, Warner Brothers, please do the right thing. Make the Snyder Cut canon. Give us way more Flash feats like this one. Tons of fans want it, and it makes way more sense than hanging on to, whatever this is.
Like brunch. Like, what is brunch? You wait in line for an hour for essentially lunch.
That is one big pile of shit.
But anyways guys, that's my take on how fast Barry was moving in the new Snyder Cut version of the Justice League movie. If you guys agreed with anything I said in this video, or if you have your own thoughts you want to throw out there, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then go ahead and click that like button, and if you're new, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button too. I've also got links to my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon in the description. You should probably check those out too. And if you want to see more of my content, then you can click the link to my last video. It's right there in the middle of your screen. Alright, and I will see you all next time.